Bengaluru's never-ending pothole headache. Back to square one. Bengaluru's potholes have reappeared once again. There is just some patchwork which is being done. Now, the BBMP may be filling craters across the city, but Bengalurians say that they are really very fed up because these roads collapse. Once it rains, they collapse. For commuters, it is a terrible pain. There are traffic snarls. It is very dangerous to ride those, roads, life-threatening accidents across Bengaluru from Langford Road to Whitefield, from Agara to Hennur. Stretches freshly patched just weeks ago are now coming off. The city's tech capital status seems to have been reduced to a crater capital tag. Many people say that this is something that perhaps we have to live with. BBMP tries, but do they really try? Techies, senior citizens, little children, they all complain. Little children wrote letters also and said, how are we supposed to go to school? Many people, Kiran Majumdar Shaw also made, and said that we should do something about it. Mohandas Pai has spoken about it. One person said that he will, transfer crores of money to see that one gets rid of this perennial headache day after day after day. And it seems like many roads look that they never existed because after the rains, they just disappear and the craters are back. And there are so many accidents. Of course, officials say that the problem is massive. It's not such a joke. Traffic police identified over 4,500 potholes, of which more than 3,600 fall under BBMP limit. Now, the commissioner has said that there is a swift filling drive, but then it's not very convincing. The point is, how long will people really suffer? We have a report by my colleague Mohammad Wajiullah, which we can show right now, and then perhaps go to the experts.
I'm right now at Rose Garden, NEWS9, and if I show you this particular road over here right now, it is nothing less than thorns, and you can see the difficulty in which the people are going up and down this road every day. This is the condition of the road. It has been dug up for close to 1.5 kilometers, and the situation has been like this for the last 8 months is what the residents of this area have been telling me. It was dug up to lay sewage lines over here, and it's been more than 4 months since the work of laying the sewage line has been done. But the road is in this condition for that time. I have a few people who travel on this road on a daily basis. आप ये रोड में अप एंड डाउन करते हैं कब से है ऐसा ये?
आज सुबह निकलता हूँ मैं, ऐसा एकदम गड्ढे खोदे हैं। इधर का एमएलए आके NH हारिस है और एक्शन नहीं ले रहा, पब्लिक भी इधर कुछ भी नहीं बोल रहा है। इधर ऐसा रोड है, एम्बुलेंस आएगा तो इधर ही मर जाएगा पेशेंट जाने के लिए, और डिलीवरी केस भी एम्बुलेंस आएगा तो मर जाएगा।
You can see this is the bus stand over here, and as per the version of the resident over here, the buses are also not coming inside this road. This particular side is a cemented road which has been done a few days back, and next to that is the entire stretch which looks nothing but potholes, and this is nothing but a crater on earth.
All right, let me now go across to the experts. Nagesh Aris, author, Citizen Matters, Bengaluru, and also Vivek Menon, civic expert and former advisor to the Chief Minister of Karnataka. Very warm welcome to both of you. Mr. Menon, I have done at least 30 stories, on potholes, the way people are dying, how it comes back. It's like the monsoon. Every year it comes back. Only thing is degrees differ. Sometimes it's very heavy rain, sometimes it's very less rain, etc., etc., etc. Now, the BBMP says we are doing patchwork, we are spending crores of money, but it all seems to be very counterproductive, Mr. Menon. I think somewhere, they're not able to really, I do not know if they can't, but they seem that they do not want to really, address the real problem and once and for all get some kind of a solution for this annoying problem and deadly problem every year, Mr. Menon.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, it's not that there's not a technical solution to this. I designed Vital Malia Road and it was built with concrete, yes, granted. And today, white topping is prevalent. But at the same time, there is no real, it's government apathy. It's an apathy within the BBMP itself, which is incapable, literally incapable of maintaining any of the infrastructure within Bangalore. And if you look at, solid waste management, that is completely fallen apart. There is sewage in all of our Rajakaluways and lakes. So I think there's a complete breakdown of the institutional setup within the BBMP. assistant executive engineers, they just don't have any, I think, inclination to fill these potholes, because the state of these roads that you're seeing, and especially if you go towards the Sarjapur area, what you're showing right now is almost every road over there. I think
Yes.
we are blessed within the core of the city that we have much better roads. And, we devised TenderSure. I'm a co-author of TenderSure. And the specifications in TenderSure, the MOTH specifications, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, the IRC specifications, those guidelines are extremely clear in terms of how to build a road. Further, when we did what we call as the Benkelman beam deflectometer, this basically measures the deflection of the subbase and the subgrade.
Right.
We found that the deflection was well within the limits,
Huh.
which means what we're really seeing is a problem of the wearing course that is not being put in properly. And of course, you add to that, the other agencies that come and cut up the roads, and with that you have a complete mess. So I think a couple of things need to be done. One is coordination between the different parastatals, so that once a road is laid, you do not have another agency coming and cutting it up. The second is to go for what I call as full depth repair, which means, this patch fix that they've been doing for the past, I don't know, probably decade and a half, just does not work.
Yeah.
And so when a commissioner comes and says we're going to fill up 3,700 potholes, nothing is going to be done. Nothing of any substance is going to be done. It has to be full depth repair, which means I wish they would take up road by road and just start fixing it. And it could be black topping or it could be white topping. It
Right.
could be either of these.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
they both will survive if done
Right.
correctly.
All right. Mr. Aras, let me come to you. Nagesh Aras, Vivek just spoke about what all is wrong. I think a plethora of everything seems to be wrong. The only thing right is perhaps many people have solutions, but then who's listening? I mean, BBMP reports to the government of the day, and I'm not blaming any particular government. I'm saying I have been at it for almost 6 years now. Every year, people dying, having a severe kind of spinal injury. You have people losing little children to these potholes, deadly potholes, killer potholes. I want to ask you, Nagesh Aras, why has it become such a knee-jerk reaction, sir? I just read day before yesterday in a very prominent South Indian newspaper where the BBMP commissioner said, oh, I've given so many crores, eco-topping will be done, topping will be done, we are good to go. But the point is, does anyone know where the money goes? Suppose they are allocating 2,500 crores for doing this topping. Have they spent it? Where have they spent it? Why have they spent it? Where are all these questions, sir? Because it is almost like a school inspection. The school inspector comes, we're all very well dressed and standing there. Next day, we're climbing trees. It seems like that, Nagesh Aras.
Yeah, first of all, I totally agree with what Vivek says, I think. And I would point out that these are engineering issues. These are not political issues. So we should not look at, the politicians or parties for solutions. First of all, why this road gets degraded so frequently is that there is no water, management across the city. So the water actually, the many of parts of the road are waterlogged, as you can see right here in the visuals, and that actually leads to degradation because asphalt is not meant for storing water over it, right? It gets degraded very fast. Secondly, the maintenance of the road, in BBMP came out with a complete guideline, a very fantastic guideline in 2009, and that is never followed. It is, in terms of human life, the book is actually a teenager now, 16 years, but it was never acknowledged, never given any implementation. So the what Vivek actually mentioned, the full depth pothole repairs. That means it has to be stripped first, and then it has to be built, in that place.
You said,
That is
Nagesh,
never done.
yeah, sure, you never done. Nagesh, I've also heard no, no, never, not really from you as well, although you say it is the engineers. I want to go to Vivek. Vivek, tell me something. These engineers don't kind of drop from the sky, they don't parachute down. These are people who are supposed to do a duty. Then why is it that politicians sometimes say, oh, I will see to it that it is done in 2 days. I will see to it that an app is, is launched. I am giving you a deadline, BBMP, by 12th of September, you do not do it, I will transfer you. So if a politician is so invested, and he seems to be, I'm not naming him, but it could be anybody, and if he says it's brand Bengaluru, I will do this, and then he says, it's not a magic, this is not New Delhi, this is Bengaluru. Look at the kind of flip-flop. I think if there is a will, there is a way in Bengaluru. The politicians have to take it very seriously that this is the IT capital of this country. And this is really going down the drain, literally and figuratively, Vivek.
Absolutely. I think, one of the things that they've figured out is people's memory is extremely short. And they come up with a lot of these grandiose statements, and everybody makes it from the DCM onwards. In fact, actually, the DCM is in charge of Bangalore. And, why isn't he then taking this, rather than proposing a 22,000 crore tunnel road, why can't we fix the existing roads that we have? Right? I mean, that's a simple question to ask. Why can you invest 3,000 crores in fixing the existing road so that traffic moves much smoothly? And in fact, I said this even a week ago. I said, the average speed on Bangalore's roads is less than 10 kilometers per hour. And that's one of the reasons why we have these traffic snarls. If we were to actually increase that speed to 40 kilometers per hour, there are a lot of things that need to be done to be able to get to that. And if we were to do that, we do not need a tunnel road project. We can move cars, as many cars through all of these roads. Now, if you look at the road that you're showing, Mr. Nagesh made a very good point in that the stormwater network is non-existent on these roads. Nobody designs a stormwater network around it to drain these roads and keep them well drained. And obviously, when you have water stagnating on the roads, you're going to see this kind of degradation.
Yes.
So I think in that sense, politicians are going to flip-flop. They say these things to grandstand, to get people off their backs. But this needs to be a sustained program.
Absolutely.
Where money is
Yes.
Over years. It cannot happen overnight. It has to happen throughout the year. In fact, They should start once the monsoons are done. And, you can fix all 10,000 kilometers of roads, or, probably even, 1,000 kilometers of roads that are actually degraded. You can fix them all within that 12-month period, rather than come out and say that I'll fix all potholes within 24 to 48 hours, which is a pipe dream. It's never going to happen. It's a patch fix. It's just an eyewash.
It's an eyewash, he says, and Vivek spoke straight from the heart. Mr. Nagesh Aras, before I let both of you go, I want to ask you, what is the need of this flyover, the Hebbal loop? First, let him fix these roads, no? I mean, to say, oh, I go home, my children tell me, Dad, the roads are so bad, the traffic is terrible. So, I mean, even I am grappling with it. All that we understand. I mean, he's a dad, he's an uncle, he's someone's husband. Good. But the point is that there seems to be, a priority seems to be all over the place. This is where all the poor people, the rich people, the middle class people, the working people, everyone travels through this. You don't have to ease it through making a loop. You have to ease this, no? Nagesh?
Yeah, see, this is only one aspect of the whole picture, actually. The remaining, it's a complex picture. See, I have written an article in Citizen Matters where 62 different factors play a part. Public transportation is one of them. End-to-end connectivity is, included in that. Without those solutions, we can't have private vehicles flying on these roads and expect fast traffic.
So saying these are
Then
all
people
misplaced
will think of tunnel
priorities.
as a solution.
Yeah, you're saying misplaced priorities. You agree with me. And that's what you're saying, that we have to concentrate on it.
Wrong solutions, again, everything is in engineering
So it's a
domain.
mess.